if Jesus came down to earth, it was his second coming, he was here to save us all, but in order to save Americans, he had to come to America, okay? And he obviously wasn't coming in with legal means. He just kind of spawned in front of your house. Would you call him an illegal?
No, if he came in properly.
What if he didn't come in properly? He just came from the clouds, not through a legal port of entry. Would you say that we should deport Jesus?
Yep, I think Jesus has the authority to do about whatever he wants because he's Jesus.
So should we deport Jesus or not?
Should we compare Jesus to illegal immigrants?
I don't think she's a better candidate than Trump is because she spends too much money. And
you said that she wanted to spend more money.
Yeah, like in the government itself,
So,
it seems like she's just spent too much money. Go ahead. Yes.
The Biden-Harris administration spent half of what Trump spent. Erica, why do you support Trump?
His values aligned more with mine when it came to Christianity, being pro-life. I do appreciate what he's doing with all the illegals. I see it firsthand in my town. We have an influx. Half of our population are illegal immigrants. We have a big increase of drunk driving. 95% of them are Hispanic, and we see a lot more theft and crime. We've seen a lot increases in our hospital bills because they don't pay hospital bills. No, it's not bull. It's 100% true, actually, for all those that are going at me in the comments. And so, you saying that
95% of drunk drivers are Hispanic, therefore
in my town, I look at the police reports every week. 95%.
I'd appreciate it if you'd let me finish.
You weren't going. Go ahead.
I sure was speaking.
Okay, Dean. This is why people don't come on here, though, because there's 7,000 people ripping on you in the comments, and your goal is to make people look like an idiot.
Hey, Erica, I'm sorry. You did that to yourself, right? You literally just said, 80 to 90% of people who are drunk drivers are Hispanic. You have no evidence for that. Provide me a source.
You didn't let me finish. In my town.
Can I?
Oh, provide me a source for that.
My police records in town. Hey. Okay, I'll shoot you a message here when we're done.
Hey, Erica.
I'd love to see it.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you to bring it down a little bit. I feel like you're being very combative.
Oh, combative. Okay. I saw you the other day, people calling people names.
I know. And when I do that, I always try to check myself and bring myself down a little bit. I get it that these conversations can be high stress, and it's very easy for us to get angry and upset at one another. But I do genuinely want to tell you that I am focused on productive conversation.
Perfect.
But anyways, I'm going to go back to what I was saying. I actually have a question for you. You said that you're a Christian. You also said that you're pro-life. I really want to talk to you about your pro-life views.
Sure.
But I have a question for you first. So if Jesus came down to earth, it was his second coming, he was here to save us all, but in order to save Americans, he had to come to America, okay? And he obviously wasn't coming in with legal means. He just kind of spawned in front of your house. Would you call him an illegal?
No, if he came in properly.
What if he didn't come in properly? He just came from the clouds, not through a legal port of entry. Would you say that we should deport Jesus?
Yep, I think Jesus has the authority to do about whatever he wants because he's Jesus.
So should we deport Jesus or not?
Should we compare Jesus to illegal immigrants?
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes, actually, yes. Also, let's call undocumented migrants undocumented migrants, but absolutely yes.
Okay, yeah.
So would you call Jesus an illegal?
But Jesus may come in and do what he wants. Yeah.
But would you call Jesus an illegal?
No.
Okay.
Because he's everywhere.
So then maybe you shouldn't call other undocumented migrants an illegal.
Wait, is Jesus a citizen? Wait,
is
Jesus a citizen of the United States or going through the immigration processes?
See, these are just dumb questions to get people.
No, they're not. No, these are legitimate questions.
I will say these questions are a little dumb, but they are still legitimate nonetheless.
But is that ever going to be true? What purpose does that serve in a debate? Asking a question that's stupid.
I think that's a great question. I think that's a great question. The reason why these questions do serve a purpose is because they're conceptually relevant insofar as testing the logic in which underpins your beliefs. So the logic in which underpins your beliefs here, essentially, if somebody is in America without a legal status, they are therefore an illegal. And if Jesus was to spawn and come down from the clouds, well, he wouldn't be in America with a legal status in accordance with our country's law. Thereby, under your view, he would be an illegal. Now, you said that was a dumb question. I agree with you. It kind of is. It's a little silly. But it's conceptually relevant nonetheless.
Okay. And I'm not here to argue my faith versus yours. I can't.
Yes, you are. You told us that you were pro-life. You think that every single American woman and girl should abide with your faith.
Yeah, that's why I voted for Trump.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you think that abortion should be illegal because you're a Christian and in accordance with Christian testimony, abortion is wrong?
Do I think it should be illegal?
Yeah, because
I
of
do.
your Christianity.
Yep.
Okay, great. So I want to ask you a question real quick. This is going to be great. Do you agree with the New Testament when it says all sins are equal in the eyes of God outside of blasphemy?
No, because there's different interpretations of the Bible, and I don't take every single thing that I read literal.
Okay, so you think that different sins have different wrongness?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, I mean, under that view, that critique wouldn't land. So I just want to ask you a very simple question here. Why is abortion wrong?
Because it's a living human being.
And killing living human beings is murder?
It is.
Okay, so when doctors intentionally pull the plug on brain dead patients in the hospital, terminating the life of living humans, that is murder?
See, this is a common thing that you hear all the time, but babies don't have a say in it. Yeah, sure, brain people don't have a say in it either. But you know what? I signed papers for that already. I already had a say in what's going to happen to me if I become brain dead.
Yeah,
Erica, not everyone has.
Living. Well, that's your own choice, and that's probably stupid.
I don't. So if I were to go and get in my car and go get some lunch, and I get T-boned and I'm brain dead, if my mother instructs my doctor to pull the plug on me, is that doctor a murderer? And did my mother aid and abet in murder?
Nope. You know what? No. If you decide not to fill out the paperwork, your choice. But then hope you have someone in your life who can
what
make
about
that
people
decision
who
for
live
you.
in What about people who live in countries where like they don't have that paperwork even as a thing?
Okay, well then people are using your best judgment, but
I'm asking you based upon like what your view, like what should happen in that circumstance. And I think that like obviously you wouldn't think that that's considered murder, right? Even though it's killing a cellular human life, because you value the sentience, like the subjective experiences, the past or present and future subjective experiences of human beings.
This is why people don't put them on here. I have people that are listing my employer, hate comments. I mean, this is really not the point of a live, is to have 8,000 people bashing you. It's like typical fake Christian, this and that.
It's actually closer to 9,000. But before you hop off,
I don't really care, but thanks for your time.
Well, real quick. Okay, she just left. I was going to.
Dean, that was diabolical. Actually, it's close to like 9,000. Well, actually, Dean, you're wrong. There's another like 1,800 in my live, and there's probably like another 1,500 on your live on YouTube.
Sorry. By the way, guys, don't be like doxing people for coming up here just saying that they're like, like they voted for Trump. Don't do that, you guys. Come on. I didn't see anybody do it though, so I think she could have just been capping.
My name's Tiago Ribeiro. I am a Trump supporter. I want to start with you guys. Why is it that you guys don't like Trump? Let's just start there.
Yeah, well, I got you. Right. He was you want to go?
No, go for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was held civilly liable, forcefully penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will. He bragged about walking the changing rooms of girls in Miss Teen USA because he, quote unquote, owns the place to inspect them without their consent. He undermines the Constitution, our democracy, the rule of law, right? Our court system, right? Basically, everything we see is foundational to like being an American. He's literally deporting people who are here illegally. Yeah, he's pretty insane.
Okay, so this is my point of view, right? I think that the way that Trump is right now is just based off the things that happened in the past. When his first term come around, he didn't really get a chance to do much because we did have the COVID, and then after COVID, we did have George Floyd happen, that triggered the whole world. Now in this term, I do agree with a lot of other things that he's doing. I just don't agree how he's doing. Hold on, right? I don't agree that he's deporting people that are legally, he's trying to undermine the court system. He's trying to be sneaky about it. Nobody agrees with it. The whole gay thing too, like let them live. The bathroom thing is weird, Maybe it's a yes, maybe it's a no. I live in New Jersey. In New Jersey, we did have a couple of rape cases
we can't talk about T issues on the live. TikTok will take us both down.
I'm sorry, what is it? Can you repeat that?
We cannot talk about T issues on the live. TikTok will take us both down. But if you're curious,
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Allowing T women to use a women's restroom actually makes a women's restroom safer for all women.
Well, I don't want to go there because, like you said, we just had a rape case over here in New Jersey, so I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Let me see if I can find a way to word this position without getting taken down.
See if you can find it.
No, let me
jail, I believe.
No. Just real quick. Let me try to find a way to word this position. That I don't think we'll get the live ban. Okay. So we're gonna refer to
Juice box.
No. We're gonna refer to T women as T-shirt women, and we're gonna refer to T men as T-shirt men. Okay.
Okay. T-shirt man, T-shirt women. Got it.
Okay. So the deal is well, if you just let me speak here and make an argument real quick.
Go ahead.
Great. So if we were to segregate the restrooms on the basis of sex, saying males use men, females use women, the big issue with that is then T-shirt men would be using the women's restroom as their biological females, right? And the big issue here is T-shirt men can look either identical to cis men or more masculine than cis men. Testosterone has a crazy effect on any human body, regardless of which puberty said body underwent, and regardless of if it's a male or a female. So the issue with this is, when we segregate on the basis of sex, T-shirt men are using women's restroom, compared to if we were to segregate on the basis of gender identity, where T-shirt women use women's restroom, we will have less masculine presenting individuals using the women's restroom under the view in which would allow T-shirt women to use said space, making it less likely for a cis men to enter into the space and take advantage of those within the space. Okay? So in other words, the women's restroom is safer for more masculine presenting individuals using the safer from cis men if we segregate on the basis of gender identity.
See, like, I just gotta say, based off what I've seen, here in New Jersey, we love everybody. Everybody gets along really great. I love my state. But unfortunately, we just didn't have that luck. I think that what you're saying is a really good point of view if it's like in a perfect world. But there's a lot of people out there. You see a lot of weirdos on the internet that just likes to take advantage of the system.
My argument perfectly accounted for this. More cis men will quote unquote take advantage of the system if we segregate the restrooms on the basis of sex, because then more masculine presenting individuals will be allowed in the space.
Yeah, they won't have to change their presentation to assault people.
See, like in Jersey, what we did is most places that you go is just a family bathroom. It's just a one person bathroom from now on.
Yeah, are you okay with that?
I don't really care. It doesn't really bother me. Like, it is what it is, because it helps the situation where some people want a privacy, like they don't want to share a bathroom. Like me, I don't like sharing with anybody. I don't like sharing bathrooms. Okay. And people, the T-shirt men and T-shirt women.
Hey, sir, I'm just going to ask you, I don't want to spend any time on this conversation that isn't very optimized with me giving my argument and you refuting it. Do you have a direct refutation of the position that I shared, or do you not have a direct refutation of the position that I
do not have a direct refutation when it comes to T-shirt men and women.
So then I bet it's a better idea just to kind of move on to other topics so we don't risk the live getting taken down.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay, so like I said, I do agree with a lot of the things are doing, like Doge, for example. Trump finding out there's a lot of baggage in the government, a lot of stuff that's possibly very fake. I'm not saying that it's not, because I don't like how they do things. I think how they do things is a little bit aggressive, and they kind of try to show people, hey, I'm in power and there's nothing you can do about it. But I don't. But I do agree with a lot of the thing. Well, the immigration thing is obviously I don't agree with, because it's crazy. He messed up and he doesn't want to take the hit for it, so he's just fighting everybody.
So 3 sentences or less. What is one reason why Donald Trump was a better presidential candidate than Harris?
I can't say he's a better president than Harris, but he's definitely a better president than Joe Biden.
Okay, so if Harris was a better candidate than him, why didn't you vote for her?
I don't think she's a better candidate than Trump, because...
What? So you don't think Trump was better than her, and you don't think that she was better than him?
My opinion is because she spends too much money, and my way of thinking aligns a lot with the way Trump likes to see things. The way the money spending. I guess it might be an age thing. Go ahead. Sorry.
You said that she wanted to spend more. You said that she wanted to spend more money.
Yeah, like in the government itself.
So
it seems like she's just spent too much money. Go ahead. Yes.
The Biden-Harris administration spent half of what Trump spent. So according to the CRBF, which is the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, The Trump administration spent $8.6 trillion. Meanwhile, the Biden-Harris administration only spent $4.6 trillion. So that was in the last two administrations.
That's crazy money right
and then
there.
actually looking at the proposed policy of each candidate, Donald Trump's proposed policy is like what, $10 trillion more expensive than her proposed policy? So if you wanted to vote for the candidate that was better for government expenditure, you should have voted for Kamala Harris.
I see, like, that's where we're gonna have to agree to disagree.
But I have sources, you don't. I have evidence, you don't.
You
I have
right.
agencies, you don't. What's your basis for making the claim that her proposed policy was more expensive than Trump's?
Okay, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I'm not saying you're wrong in any way. All I'm saying is this. I guess when you get to a certain age, you know, I was a Democrat my whole life. I just became a Republican with Trump. I was the whole life. What made me change was Biden, 100%. You know, like people to me, Biden.
Wait, please don't pivot and change the conversation. You made the claim that you voted against Kamala Harris because she wanted to spend a lot of money, but I gave you an insurmountable amount of evidence to demonstrate that her policy was less expensive. I gave you a source from the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, as well as you can look at the sources indicated by the CBO in the vice presidential debates, where even the moderator said that Donald Trump's economic policy was 3 times more expensive than Harris's, and then J.D. Vance accepted it. I mean, it is a unilateral, undeniable fact that the policy Donald Trump is implementing today that he ran on prior to the election was significantly more expensive and more wasteful than Kamala Harris's.
So this is just, you know, you threw a lot of information at me. There's no really way of me actually fact checking you right now to see, you know, what you're saying is true. You know, I'm just telling you why I like Trump. Why
do you think that Harris wanted to spend more than him? Genuine question.
I don't have it on top of my mind right now. I stopped looking at this, you know, at the politics a while ago. Some of the things that just really pissed me off that made me switch over from Democrats to Republicans and why
real quick, I just want to stay on this one subject. I know that I keep like being like super hyper fixated on this one thing, and like you're trying to bring up other things, and I keep just guiding you back. I apologize for that. I just think it's
okay.
Really
it's okay. So you want to talk about the money?
I just want to clarify. So just be honest. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you if you be honest with me. Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah, of course.
You don't really have any real evidence that Kamala Harris was worse for government expenditure outside of vibes.
The only evidence that I have is what I see on TikTok and what I see on TV. That's it. I did no research whatsoever.
Right, and I feel like
so this is just based off my opinion, why I voted for Trump, why my beliefs align with his beliefs. Like that girl in Georgia that got killed by that crazy ass guy, you know. The Venezuelan gangs all over here, and you know, you look at me. I wasn't born in the United States, you know, and
Dean.
I came
oh my god! I need to stop the whole live. Hold up.
So hold on.
Dean.
Go ahead.
Hold up, Dean. Hunter is no longer MAGA.
Really?
Who's Hunter?
Yeah, that Hunter.
What is he now?
He's like, I'm out of the cult. He literally believes it's a cult now.
I'd be careful. I think it's possible he's just grifting, kind of like that.
You think
one guy.
so?
HVAC.
I mean, I thought so. I don't think he's like that as much.
I don't know, man. HVAC, he was full MAGA, then he was like full libbed out, and he turned out just to be a grifter. We'll have to look into him a little bit though. That'd be cool.
No, I mean that might be true, but I'm just saying, bro. Like that's just crazy to me.
Yeah, that is crazy. He was like Trump's biggest rider. But anyways, wait 1 second. How do I pronounce your name?
I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. Can you repeat that?
How do I pronounce your name?
Tiago. Just don't say the H. Tiago.
Tiago. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Tiago, is there anything else that you want to go over here before we move on to the next
I just want to say just one more thing and I'm out, right?
Okay.
When I came to America more than 20 years ago, things were very different, you know? Like us immigrants, we had to behave. We had to, you know, like we had a certain steps to take. And when you're going to, and I kind of agree with Trump when it comes to, you go to somebody else's country, you got to respect it. You know, like you gotta, you know, like.
But then he just like bombs and ethnically cleanses the Gaza Strip. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
You're talking about the Palestinian thing too is messed up too.
Yeah,
Israel is
Tiago, I do appreciate you for coming up at this point. We are going to move on, and I hope that you have a good rest of your day, man.
Take care.